Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be doing a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Scratch tutorial. So if you don't know, I've actually got a Scratch account where I've made Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and I'm working on sister location at the moment. FNAF 2 is my most popular remake on Scratch with 36,000 views, I believe. So I'm going to be recreating that for a YouTube tutorial series. In the first episode, I'm going to be doing the main menu and the newspaper, which fades in and fades out. So yeah, that should be good. For the assets, you'll find them all in the description, including my Scratch profile if you want to check that out. So first off, let's delete this Scratch cat, and we're going to paint a new sprite. So here, and I'm going to call this toy menu. Nice. So upload a costume, and once you've downloaded the files, go to FNAF 2 textures, the office, nights and menu, misc, and just the first 4 images there. Once they're all uploaded, this is just preference, I like to drag this one with all the 3 toy animatronics to the first slot. I'm going to call this one 000 because none of them have changed into the older versions. Like you see, Freddy's changed. I'm going to call this 001 because Freddy's changed, 010 because Bonnie has changed, and then 100 because Chick has changed. Nice. Now for the code, let's just do a when flag is clicked. Let's position it at X and Y of 0. We'll switch the costume to 000 and let's show as well. Now forever, we're going to wait 0.25 seconds to 0.75 seconds, and we need to switch the costume to pick random 1 to 4. So this is pretty much just going to randomly select a costume to switch to, and then we wait 0.1 seconds and we switch back to costume 000. So if we hit play, you can see that they will randomly, one of them will randomly change to their old animatronic form, and that looks pretty good. Perfect. So that's the code we need to do in here for now. Let's move on to the UI. So for the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 title, let's paint a new sprite. I'm going to call this FNAF title. Let's upload in here in the menu, logos, and the new, no, not new game, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 title here. You'll see this, it's got a grey background. To remove this, just choose the bucket tool and set the fill to no fill, which is the red line, and just click on all of the grey areas on the screen. Perfect, just like so. That looks good. Now in the code, when the flag is clicked, we want to position this at some coordinates already set, so which is -141, 86. And we also want to set the size over here to 50%. And if we hit play, it's going to position it perfectly just there. And we're also going to show this because it's going to be hidden later. That's all of the code we need to do for that. Let's make a new sprite. This is the static, so there is static in the background. So let's upload the costume, and also in the main menu we do have a static folder, and just drag every single one of these images into here. Nice. So we have our static. So first what we do, when flag is clicked, we hide the static. Oh sorry, we show the static. And then forever, you want to position it 0 so it doesn't move around. And next costume. So for now, all this is going to do is just play the static animation, but we can't actually see the background. So you want to set ghost to 75, go to front layer, and then go backward 1 layer. This is all important for later on, for the buttons in the menu. And then we wait 0.025 seconds, so there's a bit of delay to the static, and then we get this, which looks good. Okay, moving on to the new game button. Let's paint a new sprite, calling it new game. And let's upload this costumes. It's going to be in the logos. We need to upload two things here. First of all, the new game button and this little arrow that you can see there. Okay. So in this new game button, you want to change the fill to black and then fill all of the grey and change the grey to black. And then in the arrow, we need to change the fill to no fill and then change all of the grey to transparent. Nice. I'm going to rename the arrow to 1 and then this one to 0, the new game button to 0. And let's highlight this arrow and use our left arrow key to move it across. I'm just going to move it across away so we can put the new game button into here as well. Okay, that should be good. That should be moved over a little bit more. Okay, so about that looks good. Let's grab this and Control C and Control V. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, so we have our UI. In the code, when flag is clicked, first of all we need to switch costume to costume 1 or costume 0. And then we need to go to the front layer and then go backward 2 layer. Perfect. And then the positioning for this sprite is at -155, -50. And let's also change the size to 50%. Show this sprite. Now for the input, we do forever if, put an and in the if, touching mouse pointer and mouse is down. We need to create a new variable, current night, set current night to 1, and we do a broadcast called show newspaper. Perfect. So now, as you can see, when we click this, the current night variable will change to 1, but that UI of us hovering over it isn't showing. To do this is really simple. We'll just grab a new when flag is clicked, forever, and if else, if touching mouse pointer, we switch costume to 1, and else we switch costume to 0. Now if we check it again, whenever we touch it, it switches to the arrow costume. Good. Now we're going to move on to the newspaper, which is broadcasted from this variable here. Let's create a new sprite. Newspaper. Newspaper is one word. Okay, let's upload the newspaper costumes. Newspaper can be found in Office, Nights and Menu, in Nights and Custom Night, and Paychecks and Fire, and 272.png. Here it is. Okay. So first of all, let's position this at 0, 0. Perfect. Now when the game starts, we need to hide this. We don't see it until it's triggered. And then when we receive show newspaper, we want to set post effect to 100, show the sprite, repeat 50 times, and then change the ghost effect by -2, and then go to the front layer. Now we broadcast a new message called hide main menu, and then we wait 2 seconds, and we can just right click duplicate the repeat 50 and delete the broadcast and wait, and put it underneath the wait, and then change the -2 to a 2, and the new broadcast of show current night, which is going to be used in the next episode, and hide at the end of it. Okay, good. So finally, in our toy menu, we need a receiver for hide main menu. So when we receive hide main menu, we hide, and also have, let's grab a stop other scripts and sprite, just so this stops running. Now let's drag this into all UI for the main menu. For the FNAF title, we don't need the stop by the scripts and sprite because there's nothing running. So we're going to skip that one. We need it for the static and the new game button. Cool. So if everything has worked correctly, whenever we click new game, it should fade out into the newspaper and then fade out again to the backdrop. Cool. One more thing I'd like to do over here on the flag, start in the toy menu, I'm going to set current night to 0, just so we don't have a night selected already. One last thing, let's go to the backdrop, convert to bitmap mode and choose the fill tool and change the fill to black and fill it in. This is just so instead of fading to white, it fades to black. So this will conclude the first episode of the series. Next episode we're going to work on the office and some audio. If you have enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time.